in meditation for practitioners. Been doing it for some time. And you could say anything, even like when the mind is distracted or fidgety or bored. If we look at the root of that, what is that? We could say that's fear. That's fear. The fear of losing ground, and that ground is me, the self. You know? So if we really look into like when we're fidgety, we're sitting, right, and we're thinking of something, drifting away, or moving a lot, and we're fidgety. It's a habit of distraction, and the habit of, of reaching for ground, reaching for the carpet, the floor. I need, like, remember that game we used to play tag and run around and you touch something, it's safe, I'm safe, they can't touch you. So the mind's going, I need ground, safe, whether it's fidgetiness, whether it's thinking, that's the fear. The more we practice and the more we start really going deeper into our practice, that's going to come up. As I mentioned earlier, any anxiety that comes up or whatever. And that's actually a good sign. It's not a bad sign. It's a really good sign. It means the practice is working. It's working on our, the idea of this self, this one. I'm like this, I'm like that, I like this, I don't like that. I'm red, I'm blue, I like that team, I don't like that. All this stuff. In meditation, if you notice as you sit and really just breathe, let go, eventually there's, letting go even of the one who's letting go. The more we go deeper, and that's fear, but it's good, it's okay. As I mentioned, it means practice is working. Some of us, come to meditation practice for, for relief from stress, things like that. We have a hard day. We're just like anything we do, right? We work out just to relax, take a breather. So meditation, science, Kaiser even has like a mindfulness program now, or mindfulness something. It's shown, that it has its benefits to our state of mind, physically, our blood pressure, everything. So there is that aspect of meditation. But there's also there's more to the story. There's more to it. The more we do a deep dive, as we say, right? A deep dive. Especially if one is interested in the teachings of Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha. There's some people are like, I don't know anything about Buddha. I want to kind of relax, de-stress, or whatever. Yeah, that's good. The bell rings, get back on the freeway, now what? Back to the drawing board. We had 30 minutes of, nice, peaceful. His voice is so nice. Whew, so relaxed. You get outside, God damn it, somebody scratched my car. Or I'm late, or my team's losing. So that's, that's okay. That's our habit. That's how we are. This is, but if we're, kind of interested in the teachings of Buddha Shakyamuni, this person who woke up from this the illusion of this self, of a fixed self and a fixed reality. If we're interested in what he's been teaching, what he's talking about, to look at our mind. He didn't say, I'll do it for you. He said, look at your mind. You want to know why, you have a hard time, there's a hard time, there's suffering, struggle, look at your mind. So if that is our motivation, our intention, to wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Again and again and again. Then those things are going to come up. Fear. And the fear, they say, comes up because, as I mentioned, the ground is beginning to dissolve. This ground of me, my thoughts. As I said, don't identify with whatever comes up in the mind. My story, whether it's good or I'm bad, I'm a bad person, I'm a good person. All these are just stories. It depends. For someone, right, like me, perhaps you look at me, maybe someone in the room right now is totally irritated with me. And someone else is like, he looks like a really nice guy. So that tells you that this one isn't solid, fixed, a good guy or a bad guy. It depends on our perception, how we're perceiving. So the stronger we hang on to our perception, yes, I don't like him, I don't like that, I want that to change. And then we struggle, we have a hard time, we suffer, as the Buddha said. There is suffering because there is the Four Noble Truths, right? There is suffering. First Noble Truth, there is suffering. The second Noble Truth, there is a cause. There is a cause. And then the third, good news, there's the cessation of suffering. And the fourth, the path, which is this. Traditionally the Eightfold Path, but really just the path of this, coming to practice meditation, cultivate the practice. What are we doing in meditation? We're looking at our mind. As the Buddha said, look at your mind. Tame your own mind. And there's suffering. What is the cause of suffering? Quiz time.
Attachment.
Attachment to,
Anything.
but more specifically.
Oh, your ego.
Huh?
Yourself.
Self-clinging. Yeah, attachment to, right? Craving. Attachment to that. Attachment to that. But what is attaching to that? Attaching to that. The idea that this one is here, the self. I like that. I don't like that. I could care less. Neutral. Neutral is dangerous because anything will shift. And then you like it, you won't like it. So yeah, so as we practice, we're called, this is, the Buddhist, many different practices, but this one really is like the crux. This is why all the images of the Buddha, he's sitting in meditation. Meaning that this is how to work, how to do the work, how to practice, how to look at our mind. And so that fear, that fear that comes out, that maybe it hasn't come up for most of us, but like I said, if you really look at it, this boredom, this drifting off into something else, thinking of a story, I'm getting bored now, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes, we're fidgeting, whatever, that if we look at what is that? It's fear. I'm losing ground. I'm bored. We even have to say it, I'm bored. Like my kid always says, I'm bored. But as we really begin to go, like I said, take a deeper dive into our practice, really with this motivation, this intention of waking up, and then these things are going to come up. Fear, anxiety. I remember my first experience like that, sitting with our group, this other group that I sit with, and just really. Just resting in awareness, breath. And then this anxiety kind of came up. And I stopped meditating. And I just kind of started thinking about something. Fear. I was like, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? Then I asked my teacher about that after. Oh, this happened. And she just looks at me, she's like, what'd you do? She says, I said, I stopped. I just went into something else, started thinking, or got up or something, went to the bathroom. She said, "Oh, why did you stop?" And I just really kind of thought about that. Yeah, why did I stop? Yeah. She didn't say, "You did this because of blah, blah, blah." She just asked me. Yeah. And I, myself, like, this is our project. I said, yeah, it's interesting. Why did I stop? I was scared. It was like, really you start seeing, okay, this out here doesn't exist, it's just a projection, my perception, okay. Then it starts getting to this one. What about this one who's observing what doesn't exist? Where is? Then I was like, nobody's home. Nobody's home. And then this fear and anxiety came up, and I had to stop. I pulled the plug. And I asked her, but she said, she just said, why'd you stop? Maybe next time just stay with it. And I said, okay. So I did. And it took some time for that feeling to come up again, but it came up again. I was like, and I remember I didn't identify with it, but in my mind I labeled it anxiety. And then there was curiosity into looking at that state of mind. I didn't identify with it. The first time I identified it, I didn't say it, but I identified it. My anxiety, I'm anxious, I don't like this, stop. But this time, feeling that energy of, it's just this groundlessness. It's just like the whole story is collapsing. And then that first time I put it back together. But this time I just let it collapse. And then that awareness was, oh yeah, anxiety. Keep going. So what did I do? I just stayed with it. It wasn't even me staying with it, because me was falling apart in that experience. So what was left? It's just the sky. Unharmed. But from, a practice point of view, we stayed and just looked, don't identify. It's just a state of mind, a big wave. The conditions, sometimes the ocean's flat, right? You can't go surfing. Sometimes the conditions, big waves. But they're not different than the ocean. It's just movements in the ocean. The same way, just a movement in the mind. We don't identify my wave. Don't make waves. Don't make more waves. Then it's just the ocean. And just the wave just returns to the ocean. That state of mind, that experience, returns to awareness. This basic, natural, naked awareness. Yeah. So, don't be afraid. Nothing to fear. Fear is self. Yeah. In our little laboratory of practice, just notice. Nothing is wrong. It means that the practice is working. And that, unfortunately, that comes up for folks who really I just wanted to relax, man. I just wanted to chill. I didn't want to look into this. Okay, that's okay too then, I remember I used to teach meditation at a yoga center. And one time I went there, and I just kind of gave the basics, posture, breath, just follow breath, thoughts. No problem, return to the breath if you get tangled up. No problem. And it finished, and a lady raised her hand and says, do you have a CD of, I meditate, she wanted guidance like the whole time, She goes, I meditate with a CD at home, and it plays music and bells, and I'm like, oh, well, Yeah, I go, that's, some people do that. I go, I don't do that. This is, you know. But I said, what happens, like I said, meditation is really to be out in the world now. We call this post-meditation, in the world. We're practicing here, formal practice to be in the world informally, in informal life. There's no. So I said to her, well, I go, what are you going to do? When you're out in the world and somebody yells at you or cuts you off, it's like, or you're having a hard day. It's like, look for your CD. I don't think there's CDs nowadays, so that's how long ago that was. But I said, I was gentle. I said, that's really what we're practicing, to be awake and present with things just as they are. If we have, music and this, the sound of the forest and the ocean, okay, and then you're relaxed, okay. But what happens when the music's over? Right? When the band's done. So it depends, again, on what our motivation is, what we want out of this practice. Honestly, I believe everyone here is really genuine and authentic, and is really curious about the nature of mind and how to work through this, work with this. So yeah, put this down here. Nothing is wrong. Fear means practice is working. Reality is dissolving old stories. Let them melt. Being present, we're becoming familiar with reality as it is. So those old stories are beginning to collapse. Of what we are, what we think we are. Yeah. Don't fix, don't flee. Recognize fear as mind. Let it pass, like the waves. I say. Be kind to yourself. Seeing confusion is the dawn of clarity. Yeah. Trust the path. Or you could say trust the process. We have a saying in my tradition, may confusion dawn as wisdom.
Say it again?
May confusion dawn as wisdom.
Oh.
Yeah. May my mind be one with the dharma. May dharma progress along the path, the process. May the path clarify confusion. May confusion dawn as wisdom. Yeah. It's a prayer in my tradition. So confusion's not a problem. It's nothing to fear. Nothing is wrong. This is, the sense of ego trying to hold on. And it's scared. There's fear. But awareness just allows. And it's not like you're going to stay here, get over here. No, it's just this very kind, open space. Awareness is open. Yeah. Don't be afraid. And if you are, embrace it. Embrace the fear. Let it dissolve. See what's left. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, I'm Brad with Long Beach Meditation. Your gracious generosity makes this programming possible. If you found this video to be of value, please consider making a donation here. If you'd like to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to stay up to date with Long Beach Meditation, click here to subscribe. Thank you.